Hello, everyone. I just wanted to go through the recap of the Piccolo Inu crypto interview that they had the other day before yesterday, with Austin Hilton, the CEO of the company, and then also Jorge Morales, who is the game creator for the Piccolo Inu game that they're planning to release. So, in discussion and review, it was about an hour and a half interview that they had with Sophia, who is the CEO, and Jorge Morales, and also the famous YouTuber Austin Hilton. So, I just want to go through a quick review and a recap of what they had discussed. Going through what we had noticed is Sophia, the CEO there, had mentioned that they had some issues in the beginning with the trademark issues, relating with the logo itself to the old Dragon Ball Z's cartoons. So they did have a lot of trademark infringements they were working with, and they made enough modifications to a lot of their cartooning where they don't have any issues with it anymore. That was what was told. They have a legal team, and they have established and eliminated all the issues that they had with trademark infringement. So that was a big one there. They also had mentioned that they have a legal team and they're in the process of creating an LLC for the company so they can expand onto additional exchanges, which is huge. In discussion, the big discussion with Jorge Morales, who's this gentleman off here on the left hand side, Jorge Morales mentioned that they're in the process of creating their NFT cards, which, if you look here on OpenSeas, they do have a couple already created that they're selling here. And they're selling for like 1.5 Ether, which is around like $1,600 to $2,000. So they are selling for quite a bit. But he mentioned that they're at the end of this year they're going to complete 150 NFT cards that they're planning to use in the game itself. And then the 150 cards, like for example, you have one card here. It mentioned 150 cards are going to have 10 iterations. Sophia mentioned that the 10 iterations of each card will put it roughly around 1,500 cards. Now, Jorge Morales, the game developer, also mentioned that they were hoping to have all the cards completed by the end of this year, and then in quarter 1 of next year, they plan to do a NFT card drop. So that's when all of the cards will be available for purchase. That's what we're hoping. Then also as far as the games go that they mentioned, on the game itself, you see some of the NFT cards here that they're using. The game is planning to have a playable version of the game in quarter 2. It's going to be a pre-alpha game, so it's not going to be a completed version of the game, but there'll be something that will be playable. So the NFT cards will be released, the cards will be available, and there'll be a light, soft version of the game released in Q2. Jorge also mentioned that the game plans to be completely playable in Q4 of this upcoming year. So that's actually good news. In discussion, we also mentioned they had also mentioned that they have a big team in development, not just with the NFTs, but also with the gaming systems, legal team working on trademarks and creating the LLC. Also, Sophia, the CEO, mentioned that after they create the LLC, which is already in process, then they plan to list on other exchanges. They're holding off on putting on any exchanges now currently until they have the LLC, which makes it a little bit easier to get onto some of these exchanges. And then one of the last things that they did bring up was that they were looking at possibly, now this is just a light, but they're possibly looking at interacting the game onto the metaverse. So we'll see what happens there. I know they don't want to promise anything too early. They just want to focus on getting the game going. But they did mention that. So we'll just throw that out there. Looking at the BKEX exchange, it did look like there was a little bit of a price pop yesterday when they started to do the interview. It was roughly around this time. So the price did come up quite a bit. It was up Probably about 20%, 30%, and it's still continuing to hold. Looked like there's a little bit of up and down, but it did come back up. So it's up about 30, 40% since yesterday. So the interview did help. It did actually give investors some hope on what there is for the future and a little bit of information behind the actual coin other than just what it mentioned on the website. So it does look like it has a really good base, and it does look like it has a good solid development team. So I definitely like the coin, and I will be sticking with this one for the future. Thanks, guys. If you like the review, please subscribe to my channel, and I will keep you all up to date on any of the other new things that are popping out in the Piccolo Inu and in the crypto world that's coming out.